Last week I asked people to send in questions, and now I'm going to answer as many as I can, as quickly as possible. Spleen Jacobson 203, favorite ancient civilization? Ancient Greek, because of the Maenads and Dionysus and mythology. I'm 5714. What's your favorite pastry? My favorite pastries are fluffy Taiwanese brioche or a concha, which is a Mexican pastry. Only the pink one though. The Polar Grizzly asked if you could do a full series related to one audio, what would it be? I would choose the Monster in the Woods because I think that story deserves a beginning, a middle, and an end, like a full-length series. I just don't know how to do it or where I would want it to go. James Griffin 7962, if you could be either a witch, a fairy, or a genie, which one would you most like to be? You might think I would say witch, but the one I would most like to be is a little fairy in a little trinket house like Tinkerbell. And then if you could have access to any magical power, what would it be and why? I would want the power to perform illusions so I could shape how things look to other people and control their senses the way that I want to. Jay does the ASMR. What's your favorite food? My favorite foods are soups and sweets. Chris Leahy, 9039, favorite movies, TV shows, time zone. My favorite movies are classics and horror. So classics meaning anything between the 1930s, 1940s up until 80s, and horror, pretty much most genres of horror. TV shows, I prefer miniseries. I like things that have an end and don't continue on and on and on. One of my favorite TV shows is The Simpsons though, but only seasons 1 through 10. And my time zone is Mountain. Diego Morales 7290 says, huge D&D nerd here. Remember you mentioning you play somewhere but don't know how into you are, so any cool D&D anecdotes? I am the forever DM, but one of my favorite NPCs that I came up with on the spot recently was a tiny goblin named Ogrisotoph, and he talked like this, like Elmo. It was awful. Cappy the Casual 23, are you a happy sunny day person or relaxing rainy day person? 100% the relaxing rainy day type. Andrew Sidey 76, what's your favorite kind of scripted voice? Do you find them to be commonly written? My favorite kinds of scripted voice are the ones that play with people's preconceived notions or expectations. So like Succubus, who's actually a tsundere and doesn't like you, or the big scary monster that's just looking for somebody to cuddle with, or SCP that follows you constantly, but they're just like a little lonely. I like the unexpected, I guess. I think there could and should be more. Void KM4YH, what is your favorite type of monster girl? I really like spider girls / arachne. I also like spider girls, but my favorite are slime girls, octopus, tentacle girls, eldritch horrors. I like the sticky, slimy, squishy sounds that come with them. Damien House 7706, what is your favorite voice to do? One of my favorite voices to do are dumb characters, like especially sweet dumb characters, where they're just a little confused, you know? You're talking to them and they maybe just don't quite get what you're saying. And then sometimes I like these really dumb characters, like maybe they're a little bit of a bully, but that's okay. General Kenobi 1, what is your favorite monster in D&D and your favorite PC you've ever created? I love a mimic because of the tentacles. I love a changeling because of the disguises and how fun that is to sneak into a campaign. And I enjoy unexpected villains. My favorite PC I've ever created, the virginal cleric who it was her first time out in the real world and she didn't understand how things work and she was constantly making terrible like sexual innuendos and had no idea why people were shocked. That was a fun one. Count Rich More Money Bags, what is your Bloodborne strategy? Do you focus on strength and skill, or are you more of a blood tinge and arcane? I have never played a Bloodborne game. I am not good at games that require a lot of skill when it comes to combat. I am more of a stealth and storyline kind of focus person. So I'm gonna say I am more of a blood tinge and arcane, not knowing exactly what that means. Blazer_1, can you speak German? A little German ASMR would be nice. I can do a terrible German accent, but I do speak een beetje Nederlands, which is a little Dutch, very small amount. Snubberth136, as one of your subscribers who prefer your wholesome head scratch content, I ask, do you find difficulty with those types of audios? And would you ever consider a follow-up to your pre-existing Rosemont audios, the ones that don't end in death or assimilation? I don't find wholesome or head scratch content difficult to do. I just find it harder to find scripts that are story focused, but also have that as a component. So if you are interested in writing content like that, please reach out. I think 2 or 3 Rosemont audios, and I have 3 more that are coming out very soon. So the interview audio and the upcoming ones are going to be a diner and then a motel. Edmund Olastra or Edmundo Lastra 3279. What drives you to create art that leans more towards horror? I know it isn't always algorithm friendly, so I'm curious. I do so love the horror ASMR you do though. Heart emoji. Thank you. I have always loved the feeling of being like seen or watched or scared, or like kidnapping audios, think like the darker things like that. I love that content. I think that the comforting, cozy wire in my brain is crossed over with the damsel in distress or need to be like afraid kind of wire. So that's how my brain's wired. Stro99, what audio are you most proud of / your favorite if they're different, and which one is your least favorite? Some of the content that I'm most proud of, I think, are Lady Gingerwood, The Monster in the Woods, and The Fae Queen. And I do plan to go back to The Fae Queen eventually. But those are the ones that I think I'm most proud of. They're not necessarily like my favorites, but those are the ones I'm most proud of. The ones that are my least favorite, I think they're the ones that I like took a risk on. Like I found a script and tried it and did my best, but maybe it just wasn't received as well. I think those are the ones that you have to do. Like you have to try and fail. And I don't dislike them. I think they're just the ones I'm least proud of, even though I still think those risks are necessary. SavvyCat1116, do you have any favorite music, favorite artist, favorite album? My music tastes are weird. It's not so much that I have a favorite type of music or a favorite artist or album. It's more that I'm drawn toward the music that stirs up this emotional response with me. User-Z1C2F, will we again get non-cozy horror type uploads like the ones you used to upload a couple years ago? It's possible. I'm not going to say that it's not possible. It's just not as likely. I think that some of the non-spooky audios that I've tried out, they didn't resonate as much with me. And when I say cozy horror, I'm also kind of looping in sci-fi, fantasy setting, things where there's monsters or aliens, along with a more traditional like slasher or kidnapper, killer, that kind of thing. Outside of that realm, I think there will be the occasional audio, but I don't know that it's going to be very common. Azarian1052, if you had to pick an audio to redo, which one would it be? There are quite a few of the early audios that I've considered taking down or redoing just because I wasn't happy with how they turned out, or the sound quality or the mixing, like something was off and it just wasn't good. I've made so many mistakes over the years with how my audio setup works and how my workflow goes, and there were some things early on that I probably should have spent more time or just pulled down. I think if I had to pick one, there's an early Spider Queen one that just didn't work. Like the sound quality was bad and it was like quiet, and I think if I could redo that one, I would do that in a heartbeat. Ognesty Smock 19991. Do you plan on doing ASMR for the foreseeable future? Yes and no. I would like to continue to do audio and video content. I don't know if it's always going to have an ASMR focus. I think it will always have a character-driven focus. I'm going to give myself the permission to flow into things that interest me, and one of the things that does interest me is getting into VTubing and doing more live content for people. I'm just not quite ready for that yet. But soon. Kanu Hydra, have you ever played D&D? Are you currently taking part in a D&D campaign? And if so, what is your race, class, and archetype of said class? I am the Forever DM. I rarely get to play a character. I just finished I think almost 2-year campaign that I DM'd, and I'm prepping a new one that I'm going to be starting. It's not D&D, it's a different game system, but I've been working on writing that one. I am also playing in a non-D&D role-playing game right now. It is Kids on Bikes, and the game master for that is Lena ASMR, and she is doing amazing. For that one, I'm playing a teenager who's very into journalism and investigation. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you. This has been an incredibly long recording. I'm going to try and condense this into as short as possible. Okay, thanks. Bye.